Victor, what's happening?
Ed, all is good in my world. How about yourself?
In my best Eric Thomas voice. Thank God it's Monday.
That's too much energy.
How was that?
By the way,
I shared a clip with everybody last night.
You're looking good there. You lost.
Shush.
Yeah, you lost a few pounds.
Finally starting to take care of myself.
All right. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
way
You're
overdue.
looking good, man.
way overdue. Hey, in the chat here, hey, just post up your favorite sales movie or favorite sales book. Victor, you give me a book, but not one of yours.
Favorite sales book. I'm gonna still go back. I'm going to go all the way back. I'm going to take it back to like the original spin selling. I think that changed selling, Neil Rackham.
Yeah.
And then second to that, if I could just do the second, would be probably the Challenger sale. And then third to that would be the Jolt effect.
Oh, there you go. So both those guys,
Matt Dixon and Brent Adamson.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were going to go into Cialdini. I thought for sure he'd throw something like his out there.
Because he's more psychology and influence.
Yeah.
And so if you asked about behavioral psychology, top of the shelf.
Amen. These guys know. I've shared it on.
Yep.
I'm sending this nightly message to everybody. Sales Bible was my go-to when I was a young guy, right?
He called me yesterday.
That's awesome.
Jeffrey Gittimer called me out of the blue yesterday.
That's
Victor,
awesome.
how you doing? By the way, he called me to scold me about a video that I posted 6-7 years ago because I used the word "we" 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, he actually called.
What he's there for? He's a crotchety Northeasterner.
Oh my
man.
God,
I've met him a few times.
That's a different character.
I went and saw him when I got this job, but that's all good.
What is your favorite book?
It's the Sales Bible.
It is a Sales Bible? Yeah.
It really is.
Okay.
It really is.
I'll let him know that. And then as far as movie.
Well, I shared it with these folks the other night, Glenn Ross. You got to be very careful. It's not suitable for work.
I drove a Hyundai. What'd you drive? A BMW, rather.
It's old school. It's the steel cage match I grew up in the sales room. But
yeah.
A lot of Wolf of Wall
Tommy
Street.
Boy.
Tommy Boy. Oh, that's awesome.
By the way, good shout out there, man. Tommy
Suckers is a sleeper. I like Suckers.
Suckers?
That's our car sales guys. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Let me see.
Who do you see out there?
Randy says Sales Management Simplified. That's Weinberg.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. There's Mike Brewer, Jason Sager. Matt Llewellyn's got a whole crew with him.
A lot of Wolf of Wall Street.
Timmy Tarantello. Solid punches. Boy. Solid won a whole bunch of money.
Did he?
At the crap table the other night down in they were down in Shreveport. He won a whole bunch of money.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport.
Yeah.
Who else you got?
Jeffrey says also, I'm going to some of these books. The Pursuit of Happiness. That's a Gardner book, right? That's Chris Gardner. That's the story of Chris Gardner.
Yeah. Who's the actor?
Will
Smith.
Will Smith, yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Brad Ray's in the house.
By the way,
hey
Henry, I want to ask you a question. Henry W., you got The Psychology of Sales. Who's the author of that book? Psychology of Sales. I know who it is, but I just want to know which one you read. So it's interesting.
What's Cinderella? What? Who put that?
Cinderella Man.
Used Cars is a great movie too. When they run over, when he puts the dog out there and he pretends like he puts the rock there, they think they run over the dog, and he sells the car because they thought they ran over the dog. I watched too much of this crap.
Yeah, you watched too much crap.
What else?
Cinderella Man.
Corey Smith is in the house.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Todd Mayer. We might hear about Todd Mayer in a little bit here too. He's killing it up there.
But somebody said Used Cars. Is that a movie?
Yes, it's a great movie. Kurt Russell.
Oh my God! Okay, okay. We're dating ourselves now. Holy buckets!
Amen.
All right.
All right. What else you got going on? What have you been doing?
I was in Missouri.
I heard you tell a little bit about that.
So I was in Missouri. Won't tell you about the construction company, but it was a Ukrainian construction company. This is the part I didn't tell you. So I go to there. They said they invited me to a sauna, and it's this huge. It's on the owner's property. It's a 2-layer sauna, right? I got to wear this funky wool hat as part of the sauna experience, but this part I didn't tell you. He says, Victor, we'd like to beat you with a broom. I go, you're going to beat me with a what? A broom. And it turns out they have this thing called a viniki. A viniki is it's birch, like leaves, branches, tied together. They soak it, steam it, and then what they do is they massage you with it and basically beat the shit out of you. They beat you with it. Sorry about that. That slipped. And they rub it down. I mean, it sounds bad. It sounds horrible, but I'll tell you, it was a great experience.
It was like a massage. Okay, moving on. Hey, post in the chat.
This one.
We had a conversation this morning. If you got an inbound termite lead, I mean, they got termites. They called in. They got termites. What's your first day close rate on that?
Same day close rate.
Just post it up in there. It's a hot, they got live termites. Post your close rate in there. If you're in a group, Get a collective. Get
Yep.
a collective.
Yep.
These guys were saying like 5%. And I told you, man, if
They
we're first
gave me-
I'm not going to say what I think it should be, but what's your
Yeah.
close rate on a live termite lead?
Inbound call. It was an inbound call. I can say this one. They sell decking.
Yeah.
And their close rate was like 5%. And that same day close rate, which just shocked me because I
We're
thought that
all
was
over the
a
board
bit
here.
low.
We got 90,
Yeah,
we got 20,
15,
we got 30. A
30.
lot. Lewandowski, yeah, he's a chairman's club guy. He says a
Yeah.
lot.
50, 65.
Brian Tracy, another
Team
great-
kissing me.
50. There we go.
Okay.
90.
Brian Tracy, that's what I thought.
South
Okay.
Bend's at 90. I believe that. They got a couple President's Club winners there.
Yeah.
75. Yeah.
Wow,
Kind of what I
Norbert,
told you.
yeah.
Kinda
Wow,
what I told
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's there's a range, but it ain't 5%.
No.
Which is why they called me out.
Yeah, which is
Service
cool.
injury.
Which
Yeah,
is cool.
It was great.
What else has happened? Anything else?
That's about it. I'm already in trouble, man. Just move on. Let's go.
I've been on the road circuit, having a chance to meet with a bunch of branch managers. I think in the last 2 weeks, I've been able to connect a little bit with probably 200 of our branch managers.
Yep.
Southeast Division and South Central last week, which was awesome. I'll be together this week with the division presidents and Pat at kind of our mid-year meeting.
Okay.
And then next week I get to tell, next week I get to tell their story of the sales production to all the big cheeses. You know,
Nice.
Jerry and Ken and all the guys sitting in the back.
That's
of the
always a
room.
good meeting. You always
Yeah,
have
and
positive
again,
things to say about that
we're
meeting.
teed up really well with the numbers coming in. So,
Right.
I mean, just outstanding.
It's always good when you got that wind beneath
Yeah, so
your
speaking
wings.
of numbers, here's some of the numbers I get to talk about in a couple of weeks, which I think are pretty cool. Let's start out with residential pest control. And again, just a strong performance. The month of June, OC3 ran, Victor, a 17% sales increase. Year over year, 17% over last year. They had 2 or 3 or 4 $2 million days. You know, April or Tim or somebody can correct that in the chat. That place is on fire. The weather's cooperating. You know, we're in this big heat wave now, so that just stirs up the bugs.
Yep.
17%.
That's amazing.
Year over year for the month of June.
Wow.
The field sales fell off a little bit. We had a 1% decrease in residential PC sales, and that's important. Sometimes we make light of that, but that's important because 30% of our residential pest control sales happen in the field, either with our Orkin Pros or our HSIs that are out there in the field getting after it. So we need to pick that pace up a little bit. Total for residential PC sales for the month of June, Victor, 12% increase over last year.
Double digits,
which
man.
again,
Double digits.
these folks are on a roll. This is about 6, 7 consecutive months that we're double digit in that residential PC, which is just outstanding. Year to date, OC3 is up 11%. The field's up 1%.
Okay.
And the total is running a 9% sales increase through I guess the first 6 months of the year.
Great numbers,
Residential
man.
PC.
I'm actually happy that Tim Tarantello is doing his job.
Yeah, he's on.
Is he on
Take
there?
a shot. He's on here. I
Okay.
saw him out
Is he
there.
on there somewhere? Okay. Good for him.
$175 million, folks, in the first 6 months of residential pest control.
That's
just
amazing.
staggering. $175 million.
Yeah. Every month I'm just shocked by these numbers. I truly am.
And,
yeah.
and they keep coming. As you know, we had a little bit of a slip in May with our total termite sales. You know, we didn't really hit it the way we wanted to. We didn't get that double digit, but y'all bounced back in June like we know you would and like we felt you would. Termite sales for the month of June. Let's start out with traditional termite sales. They were up 6% year over year. Our bait sales. I'm really tickled about this. There's a little piece of the OC3 helping out with this, but our bait sales for the month of June were up 14% year over year. Strong performance. Thank you for all that. Our ancillary sales continue to deliver, 14% increase there. You know, roll it all together for the month of June, 11% year-over-year increase, just outstanding. And then let's share some year-to-date numbers. These numbers I'll share in a couple weeks with the big cheeses. Total termite sales are 11% increase over last year, just outstanding. Ancillary at 19%. Our bait sales are up year-to-date through the first 6 months, up 4%. Again, from kind of being in a hole, in a deficit the first couple of months. So y'all are working on that. We keep hanging up those 14, 15 double-digit percent increases. We'll get that up to double digits by the year end. Victor, amazing number, $220 million in termite-related sales in the first 6 months of the year.
And that was 19% increase on ancillary.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's actually a little bit of a slip.
Okay.
From
That's
the 20s that it's been running, but just really strong performances, double digits all the way across the board. Mosquito sales for the year are up 16%, so everything just is ticking in time. And again, we're going to end the year, which is always good going into a meeting with the big cheeses on profit plans. So you know, Pat will be able to show up at the meeting, and he'll be proud of his team and proud of these folks.
You're on a calendar year, right?
Yeah, we're on a calendar.
Okay.
Calendar.
Okay.
Yeah. So just outstanding. Just
amazing numbers.
Yeah, really good performance. So again, I thank you for what you do every day. You know, and the other thing we had, Victor, we had 50 folks, cross that paid-on $100,000 barrier, what do you think we should do?
Roll that video.
Roll
Let's
that
see
video.
those 50. Nice.
How about that surfer
Yeah.
video?
What was the reason for that?
I don't know, Ben. I just
I was asking, why are we
I
surfing?
spin the numbers. Well, it's summertime.
Oh, is somebody going
I
somewhere?
thought it was really appropriate. I was digging it.
I liked it. I liked it.
The music was cool. Yeah.
Very
yeah.
Beach Boy-ish.
Maybe in honor of who's the Beach Boy? He just died. The last one just died.
Did he?
One of them died.
Wow, that's
The
kinda-
weird one. The one's kooky.
I,
All right. Well,
yeah, I don't know,
come
Ed.
on,
I don't
get into your music,
I'm
right?
going-
Hey,
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so Carson Ward.
Has he ever been up there?
Oh yeah, he's now the #1 guy in Orkin, all of Orkin through 6 months. He's been
Really?
the President's Club chairman. The guy
Right.
just kills it. Victor, he got paid on $328,000.
Right.
A little simple math tells me that's $45,000 paycheck for 1 month.
Nice.
For
Way to
1
go,
month.
Carson.
Outstanding.
Nicely done.
There are
You got Matt Ketchum, also a name that you don't see near the top.
no, he's always there.
But
You better
not-
pay attention.
I don't know. I think
He's
I'm
been
paying
on this
atten-
list every month this year.
Now, the dark horse, Lindsay
She's back at it.
DeLon. Now, she's been moving up.
We know she was going to be there.
Yeah, but
By
holy
the way,
buckets.
all three, all
Peter
most-
Morrison, we see you, man.
Amen. Sambu, my man
Sambu.
Sambu, just always ringing the bell.
Jason Sire getting a little lazy there, but all
You
right.
quit saying that.
Brian-
Jason Sire said his close percent. Sire said his close percent was 0 to 100.
You know, I expect more from him. Do you know what I mean? I just do. I don't know why, but I'm just like, you know.
I love that guy.
All right, so you got Hassan, my man, Kevin, Tim Lott. Any interesting names here? Rodney Jones also getting lazy.
Keegan
right.
Rigg out of Davenport. That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
This is a
spot.
great list, by the way.
Ethan Mason out of Pensacola. That might be his first trip. Sean Bedell out of Zionsville, which is
Yeah.
Indianapolis.
Got to give a shout out to the cheesehead, Carl Zacharias.
Yeah, Carl Zacharias.
Yeah, way to go,
Carl
man.
Zacharias made
Ben
that rack
Dietz,
trip. Outstanding.
Illinois boy. Ben Dietz out of Waukegan.
Doug Morgan's a pretty cool story. You know, he's been to President's Club a whole bunch of times.
Right.
He sent me a note. He changed territories, right?
Okay.
They gave him a new territory.
Okay.
And he moved. I don't know if he moved or they changed his territory. And nobody had ever, I think he went to a new branch.
Okay.
And nobody had ever made the 100,000 there. And he was really proud that he
Okay.
did that. You know, he's hung a whole bunch
Nice.
of $100,000 months. But again, there's that proof that it's never
The territory.
never the land. It's
Yep.
always the man or the woman that make it happen. So just really cool story there. Clayton Williams looks like a new name out of Knoxville. Tina Carpenter's back in action again.
Nice.
Josh
Nice.
Boswell filling in well for Roger Kennedy. Roger who? Jonathan Hinman's a new name.
Yep.
Who else you see on there? Michael
I'm going to
Vincent
get the
back,
comments
back
here. It
in
says,
action.
Josh says, Waylon Wildman Carl.
There you go.
Did you know that's your name? Let's go. And then
I told you.
Jacob Johnson is standing up by saying that sayer is always there.
Oh,
See how
man.
cute that
He's
is?
got some bad
That is
jokes.
corny.
He got some bad jokes, that Johnson
Yeah,
did.
you just, that's like the ultimate dad joke.
I told you we'd hear
Larkin
from
joke.
Todd Meyer.
Yeah.
There he is, Todd Meyer on there out of Minneapolis.
Yeah,
It's
3X.
crazy. I think a lot of this stuff used to just happen like in the South.
Yep.
But this stuff is contagious, man. You can hang 100,000 anywhere in the country, and this
love
list is just proof of it. Who
All
else?
right.
My man Billy Lewis, Jessica Overton out of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Congrats, Skylar. And Clayton says, hail, Todd.
Hail Todd.
One number. And then, by the way, the OC Trey.
How about that? There's your girl, Teresa,
Teresa
at the top
Mobley.
of the charts once again.
Yes. Shannon, let the music play.
Those two,
McKay.
man, they just
keep going
they
at
keep
it.
battling for that.
I don't
New
remember
name.
seeing Sasha Burge
I
there.
think that's
Is
a
that
new name. Maybe
Say Tim
or
hit us
April.
up. Is that
Post
a
it
new
up there.
name?
Outstanding.
Yeah,
Juan
that's-
Felix is there. We talk about
Juan
Juan all the
Felix
time.
good.
He's one of the bilingual folks down there in the
and
in
then
the
Michael Morton is
He's been there before, I believe.
but he's been sketchy. He's been sketchy.
Sasha is a new hire. April tells us Sasha is a
Holy
new hire.
Black kids right off.
There you go.
April says, "What's up, April Bunting?"
Speaking of new hires, Victor,
Speaking of new hires, okay.
April sends me a note. She sends me a note. She
Who
says,
does?
April sent me a note because she's the one that sends me this list
Yeah.
of the top 5 from the OC3. And she sends me this list. She said, you should know this. So Teresa Mobley's son, Lane, he's a college student. And,
Teresa
a lot of
Mobley's
college
son,
students,
Lane.
a lot of college students
Okay.
come
Right.
to work at the call center in the summertime when we kind of upstaff. So,
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about letting them go. They go back to school and they really get, I've had a couple nephews do it. Mike Lysis' son has done
Right.
it. A bunch of folks, kids have done it. So
Right.
if you've got a kid in college and you want to get him some real chops and teach him how
Right.
to sell and get him some experience like that, reach out to Tim or April or somebody on that team.
Right.
But get this, Teresa Mobley's son, Lane, college student, June, salesperson, rookie salesperson of the year, of the month.
Of the month.
Sold over 300,000. I think he got paid on like $250,000. Victor, his close percent, first month out.
Okay.
His close percent was 62.3%.
All right, wait a minute.
So it's a chip off the old block.
We got to
maybe?
slow this one down here because I want to understand this. College student.
College student.
So what did he sell total?
He sold 330,000. I think he got
330.
paid on like 250.
250?
Sold and started a little bit different.
Right.
in their game.
Okay. So you got paid on 250.
Yeah.
Is that what I think it is?
No, it's 4%.
Oh,
Four
but that's still a lot of money, though.
For a college kid?
For a college kid.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Mike
wow.
Lysis says his son still has money in the bank for money.
I wonder, and I think Tim should get on this, if Teresa takes a cut.
I'm not touching
Yeah.
that. I'm not touching that.
You know, there's some child labor laws, Teresa. Come on, man.
No, just
congratulations,
outstanding.
lady. Way to go, man. Way to go.
I'm guessing she checks him in every night, Victor.
8,000, man. I'm not saying like, yeah, 8,000. I'm not sending. Anyway, I'm not sending
Talk
you
about
to
an
college.
internship. You have your kid go do something that doesn't count.
But wait a minute,
amount of
that's
stuff.
about $8,000,
Yeah.
right? Am I doing numbers in my head right?
I think the math's right. Maybe April can tell me if I'm wrong.
$8,000. How old is he? 18?
Bonkers.
Yeah.
I'm so
By
proud
the
of
way,
him.
yeah, I like Charlie Schmiedel. Schmiedel said, yeah, rent just went up.
Very good. All right,
Love
let's
it.
get into some content
All right.
and get these folks out of
Let's
here.
do it. Let's do it.
So, your friend, Anthony
Anthony Iannarino.
Iannarino,
AI.
wrote this book.
Yep.
Couple years old, and I was reading it on a plane. This
Yeah.
is when I do my reading, is on a plane. And I shot you a text.
Yep.
I said, we need to cover some of this book in there. And rather than unpack the whole thing,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Anthony, and then
Yeah.
let's talk about the book, and then we'll just maybe cover 3 bullets on
Have you
out
ever
of the
talked
book.
to Anthony one-on-one?
I have not, but I've watched a lot of his
Yeah.
podcasts.
He's like Professor Xavier of sales.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
no,
just like
exactly.
It's just like he's very intellectual. So when he wrote this book, I remember we were talking about this book, and it was at a conference, at the Outbound conference. He was talking about this book. He kept coming up with this one-up strategy, and I knew what he meant. What I love about Anthony's work is that it's theoretical and practical at the same time. I love the fact that he kind of gives you the why, in other words, the tactic strategies that he uses in his sales strategies. Now, a lot of it is B2B, right? But a lot of this could also be applied to B2C, which is residential. And so let's go through the book, because I think it's an interesting book that everybody should read.
Yeah, so I guess I pulled a couple things out of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I
sorry.
should mention, he's a very good friend, by the way. He's a gentleman, nice guy, very smart,
Yeah,
really smart.
His stuff is deeper.
Yeah.
Deeper than most, right?
It's
He's way
dense.
deeper than Gittimer.
Yeah.
But the science is all
Yeah.
there.
I
And
mean,
the thought process.
Gittimer rock skips.
Yep.
You know, Anthony just goes, he plunges.
Yeah. I was intrigued by it. So
Yeah.
I encourage you. I recommend books all the time.
Yeah.
pick it up, give it a run.
Yeah.
I think it'll be worth
It's
the time.
never a bad book that he produced.
But he talks about this sales mastery, working your way to like 9 pillars of sales
Right.
mastery. And it kind of flips your ideas and your thoughts on how to sell and what you're doing and maybe
Right.
even the way that we do it today.
Right.
I think that he's trying to tease you into doing something a little bit different. But the first one that he talks about is information asymmetry. Right?
Asymmetry,
And,
yeah.
and talk about that a little bit from your
Okay.
side, because I know that's a space you spend a lot of time in.
Right. So information asymmetry is really interesting. Assume that height represents how much you know. Like height represents your knowledge level, in this case of pest control. But you're talking to a consumer that doesn't know a lot about pest control. So if height represents knowledge, they're about right here. This difference in information is called the asymmetry gap. And what happens is when the gap is too big, people go, I'm confused. Let me think about it. If you've ever tried to buy like life insurance, like I have, and they start explaining things, insurance person's knowledge is here, mine is down here. And because I don't understand, I just say, I'm not going to make a decision. So the goal in information asymmetry is to really simplify the content and then educate the buyer, and therefore closing the asymmetry gap.
Yeah.
And that's usually done during the presentation or the walkthrough.
And
Organize that for
well,
me.
I'll pull it out of the book too.
Yeah.
Out of the book, he comes across. He says, you can't come across as arrogant, right?
Correct.
You got to be very careful that you got all the knowledge. Customer may have very little, right? Or they may have some. They're not on the internet. They've been surfing around,
Yep.
so they may have some. But that gap, if you try to close that gap by bullying your way in and say, I got all the answers. I'm the man. I'm the
Right.
dude, right? That
You
arrogance
literally
is going to
shoot
come
over them.
Yeah. And shut them down even further, right? Back them down.
Yeah, Grant Cardone, we did a 2-day workshop together, and this is his line. I don't know if he was his or he got it somewhere, but he kept saying eye level is buy level.
Yeah.
And what he meant was, from an information asymmetry standpoint, is that you simplify the content, educate the buyer, and now you're at eye level, and there's no arrogance. There's this kind of peer-to-peer type of exchange.
Yeah, and I think we hold a lot of cards, right? I mean, and the other thing I think too is in the book, what I really gathered out of it is that I don't know that we're as good as we can be, Victor, in knowing our products and our services. Yeah. And I'll use the last 2 weeks when I got into the meetings with the branch managers at the Southeast and the South Central. They had all the vendors around the room, and I challenged all the branch managers in the room to invite these vendors in to teach their people so they can get that information knowledge to where they can talk from that spot, right? Yeah. I don't think with all the products we have to offer that I think we have very few salespeople that are locked and loaded on all of this. I'm not locked and loaded on all the content and all the ways to explain it. So again, you branch managers that are on the call, you RSMs, drive these vendors to your people so that they can get that power position. So they have that. They can be looked at. I think at the end of the day, one of Anthony's statements is you got to come across as the absolute expert.
Absolutely.
And I think we got too many people running around out there. And this isn't to disparage anybody. This is a level of just volume of things that we're selling new that we don't really know everything about.
Yeah.
And I've told the story before about my story with insulation. The first 6 months it come out, I didn't sell any of it, right? Because I didn't believe it, I didn't understand it.
Right.
And I was a pretty good salesman, right? But until I got that understanding to talk from that position, I wasn't comfortable. But I was very cautious not to be too arrogant with it. Right?
Yeah. We used to have when product managers it's almost like the equivalent of vendor. When a product manager developed a new product, I think I've talked about this before, one of the things they would do to us salespeople is basically put us in a room with them.
Yeah.
And then they would just ask us all these questions. Yeah. Well, if the customer asks this, what do you say? Yeah. If I told you can do this with it, could you do it? If not, why not? And you walk out of there, it's that statement, never practice on your customers. So when you walk out of the room with these product managers, you know the product. Yeah. I'm not saying you know 100%, but you're at the 80, 90 percentile. Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with the vendor. You spend some time with them, let them ask you all the tough questions, and then you'll feel comfortable. And it's that confidence we talked about many times that drives the sale.
Yeah, and again, these vendors that we have are jonesing to get in front of our people. Yeah. I mean, they'll come in, they'll buy donuts, they'll buy bagels. They'll set it up, they'll take care of you, right?
I'm in.
And I'll use one example. So big problem with spiders up at the cottage, right? So I sat with the dude from Niban, and I think Niban's at Nisus. Sat with the dude from Nisus. He said, you should be using this product. And I went out, believe it or not, I bought it on Amazon. He told me, just buy it on Amazon. You'll get it quicker that way than trying to work it through the branch. I put the stuff down a week ago. I mean, like, my wife's like, what happened to all the spiders? Seriously, just that education that I didn't have 40 years in the business. And I didn't know that this product was out there, and it's sitting on the shelves in our branches, or it could be sitting on the shelves.
I was about to say, can we private label that thing?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But now, and a couple other things, and I think that's enough on that one, But this unique vantage point, right?
Yep.
That he talks about, creating this unique vantage point without disparaging the competition, right?
Right.
I think talk about that a little bit, but I'll tee it up for you, make it a little simpler in the fact that when we go in on that termite lead, right? When we go in on that termite lead, if we can separate ourselves from a unique vantage point by spinning all the conditions conducive.
Right.
Victor, it would be sinful for me to just sell you a termite job if I didn't address this, and this. I think too oftentimes on an inbound lead, we get kind of hung up in just trying to get that deal, that one single deal, where we're missing this opportunity really to have them look at us as, boy, these guys are unique. They're doing a little bit different. Talk more about that. And
the way Anthony sets it up in the book, again, triangulation can mean two things. One is that you understand the content from different perspectives. In other words, you're the subject matter expert. So first of all, you empathize with the customer. I'll call that one angle. Number two is that you're going to educate them, give them information they don't have, and then put them in a situation where we're going to offer them options they maybe not have thought of. That would be the triangle. The other way to look at it, the way he kind of highlights it, is that you're sitting on top of a triangle, and all of a sudden you're talking about what's happening with their house, a little bit about the company, what are some options they have, and it's almost like I don't want to say it's like the guru that sits on top of the mountain, but that's kind of it. You're giving them that vantage point. And the key here is never to really disparage or talk about your competition. You don't have to, because they see you as the expert. It's almost like myopic. It gets very focused on just you being the domain expert.
And I think one of the things that really hammers home this trying to create that triangulation, right? To set yourself apart without making bad about the competitor is the rack close, right? We've got something that's rather unique, right? There aren't a whole lot of things. I mean, they put the same green things in the ground we do. They spray the same Termidor. They spray the same stuff, right? They can all make that claim that we got all these trained technicians. All that stuff just kind of get washed out. And I think that's a lot about Anthony's book. Don't sound like the other sales folks in it. Because the other Terminix guy said the same thing you just said.
Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I haven't thought about.
And I think if you're not leaning into rack, and our rack market share as a company is at 50%. They just announced the 40 winners. I don't know if it's out public yet, but they sent notification to the winners on Friday. Terry Groff sent an email out to all the winners. That's something that is truly different that we have that the others don't. And you don't need to say, no, they don't have this. But if you say, hey, man, we're so cool about the way our guys do our work that we don't need any money up front. Again, something that separates you, that's unique. Wow, those working cats, they don't want any money until I'm happy.
Who was it that I interviewed? Was it Keekins?
Nick.
Yeah, Nick Keekins. That's when I asked him about, your close with rack, he just kind of looked at me like I was dumb. Because he's like, what do you mean? What's like? I forgot what I asked him. What's your close rate without rack?
How did you do before you did rack?
And he just looked at me like I was like, that's strange to me. His close rates are so high with rack. It was just amazing.
And I think he ended up number 2. I think Carson beat him out. Carson Ward, by the way, is the number 1 rack salesman for this year, so which is really cool for the period. They measured that.
Nice.
But anything else on?
That's it. I mean, we can go. That book is dense, and so there's so much stuff in there. Definitely get the book. Highly recommended. And again, it applies to B2B, B2C. But what I love about Anthony's stuff is that there's a lot of reference to where he gets the content from, but it makes you think intellectually about sales even more.
And how to approach it a little different, right?
Very different. His approach is different.
Very, very different. So it intrigues me. And I hope maybe it'll intrigue you, and maybe that's just a little bit of enough of a teaser.
Enough.
There's a couple videos that'll summarize it for you if you go out to YouTube and Google them up. They'll pop up in there. But I think that's enough for today.
And by the way, he has something called thesalesblog.com. Check out thesalesblog.com. Like I said, you'll get I think it's a weekly newsletter. It's a great newsletter.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, shout out to Anthony, right? Tell him we talked about him. So a little bit of housekeeping, then we'll get on out of here. Fair enough? Hydrate. It seems like a broken record. Hydrate. Hydrate you and your pros. Make sure you're taking care of your pros. It's getting crazy out there. I mean, it was like 92 degrees this morning coming in here, right? Humidity just beat the band, just uncomfortable, right? And they got this, what do they call it, some kind of heat blog coming across the country again?
I've done.
Another one of these big bombs, but that make the phone ring, that's all good. The rack contest finished at the end of June. They announced the winners. They let the winners know there'll be something publicly coming out this week from Terry Groff and his team. The cool thing about that is that the contest for next year's trip, we don't know where we're going yet, but started July 1. So you're right in the middle of that contest at this point. It just kicked off. Go claim your prize. 40 of our salespeople will go to that rack trip. It's always in a beautiful place. This year they're staying at the Four Seasons
Nice.
in Vail, Colorado, which I've never been to, which will be cool.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Just a reminder on the nightly message that I send out. You managers are on a phone. I don't send, the only ones that get it are the salespeople, the RSMs, the RMs. If you want to share it with your branch managers, feel free to do so. There's no proprietary stuff. Spread that stuff all over if you choose to do so. Again, I appreciate the response. When you hit me back, it just keeps the motor running. And the other thing you got a note, or you got a couple of notes from me, you got a couple of notes through the internet, and then last week on Thursday or Friday, you got a note from the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, to participate in a survey. It's only our salespeople, no managers, just our salespeople. All of our OC3 reps, all of our home sales inspectors, and all of our account managers received that same email. About 1,850 of them went out across the country. I encourage you to participate in that survey. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to get through. What it's going to do is help us build the future, help us kind of make sure that we're delivering the right kind of training, the right kind of onboarding, all those kind of things. And so I personally would appreciate your participation in that survey.
Nice.
University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Victor, is Gary Rollins has given a whole bunch of money up there. That's where he went to school, and they have a sales school up there.
Okay.
And we're going to get you up there. I already talked to Chris about it to kind of get engaged with that school. But it's a sales school where they're going to start putting out sales graduates.
Yeah.
And
I'd love to go, man.
so we're building a big room up there, a big study room,
Really?
just really cool.
okay.
So that's coming. So I appreciate your participation in the survey. It's a couple weeks to go in July. It's Magical Monday, right? Get after it. Appreciate all you do. Thanks for getting after it, folks. See y'all.
Take care.